Let the farming begin. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Fishbot, and today we are talking some Outriders. Let's get into it. People Can Fly has honestly surprised the shit out of me. This game is awesome so far, and I'm only about 10 hours in. The bosses are unique and different. The combat, the modding, the guns and armor are all so fun to play with. There are so many new things that were not present in the demo, so much so that today I would like to share with you guys 5 things I wish I knew before playing the actual game. Quick disclaimer before we get to the list. Of course, I'm by no means close to finishing the actual game, so the info I'm sharing might be things you already know or outdated, but I'm sure there is at least one thing you do not know. Now, let's get this started. Now, I may be speaking for most people when I say that crossplay and matchmaking in general for at least a few days may be wonky. There have been reports of so many disconnects and crashes, so to enjoy this game, you may be on your own for a few days. If you are honestly one of the lucky few to play a matchmaking game, please comment your gamer tag below. I don't care if we have to play like crossplay or if you play on PC. I just want to play with some people. Anyways, upgrades and modding. If you didn't farm or legendaries, then this is your saving grace. Even if honestly you did farm for legendaries, chances are you got maybe like 3 or 5 max, unless you are this guy. Modding and upgrading essentially gives you the ability to make a decently shit gun into a pretty meh kind of gun. For instance, you can level a weapon up to match your character's current world tier weapon drop level. Now that's a mouthful, so let me explain. Technically, let's say on world tier 8, you are getting level 22 weapons dropping, okay? You can level up a weapon, like a weapon that you really like. For instance, I do have a legendary Thunderbird and it's super low level. So technically, I can level this weapon up all the way up to level 22 to match the weapons that are dropping in my current world tier. Of course, given that you have enough resources. We will talk about resources and all that fun stuff in another video. But for now, you just got to take that in that you can technically take a lower tier weapon, but if you like the mods on it, if you like the perks on it, then of course you can go ahead and upgrade that to match your current difficulty. Not only that, you can actually raise weapons attributes and change mods. So if we look at the list that our Dr. Steve Urkel over here is giving us, we can raise anomaly power, for example. We can raise crit damage. There are just so many things that we can raise based on, again, how much resources you currently have. So that's just very important, but it is a way for you to make your weapons that are decent into a better weapon, or if you have a really good roll on a weapon, to make that a god tier level. It just depends on how much resources you have at the end of the day. So if you feel that world tier 8 is honestly killing you, head over to Steve Urkel and upgrade your guns. When changing mods on armor and weapons, choose wisely. As we progress in the game, we begin to get blues and purples that drop with 2 mods on the weapon or the armor. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to upgrade / mod weapons and armor often. However, you must be careful when changing a mod on a piece of gear that already has 2 mods. Once you replace one of these mods, let's say for instance I want to change the mod in slot 1, that's cool, that's fine, but take note that once you do, you can no longer change the mod in slot number 2 and vice versa. So if you were to change slot number 2, you are stuck with whatever is in slot number 1. I learned this the hard way when I was trying to put multiple mods of my own choosing on a purple piece of boots, and to my disappointment found out that I could only change one. This also makes selecting the appropriate prize, or I guess reward, very important, because let's say you finish a bounty and you are given the option between 3 weapons or 3 pieces of armor, okay? One has high firepower, but shit mods, or mods that are not part of your build. Do you choose a weaker weapon with better mods, or do you stick it out with the former? I know I'm nitpicking, but in the early game, there are only so many bounty quests and monster hunts, so choosing wisely is very important. Next up, we got fast traveling back to the beginning. Now, I'm only saying this if and once you have reached the point in the game where you can actually do bounties and monster hunts. Once you have this ability, you guys will notice that you have like a crosshair on your actual world map. Along with that, you'll see kind of a animal paw. That being said, you are now able to go back to certain areas and complete bounties and monster hunts. And the reason why I'm saying travel back to the beginning is because you have more options and more chances to get loot. Now, I know obviously this is a new game and that everyone wants to discover the newest things first. They want it. They need it. They need it now. Otherwise, their heads will honestly pop off. The problem with this is you miss out on the aforementioned side quests. I was pleasantly surprised to receive new missions in old arenas. I like that a lot. This not only gave me more opportunities to again get more loot, but it just let me know that the developers have done a really good job planning out the demo and the actual game release. I honestly thought everything in Rift Town was done, but here I am killing a captain and getting some loot simply by backtracking. Another reason to go back to the beginning is to farm for legendary. Yeah, stupid. We are now higher world tier, meaning higher legendary percentages. I personally have not farmed just yet because, like I said, I only have so much time on my hands. But once I am world tier 10 and up, you better believe I'm farming Captain McCain's mission again. Alright, so now at number 4, we have a very, very simple kind of tip. If you want to complete the game for lore and for the cinematics, which is honestly like asking to be on the teacup ride, because damn, the camera movement is still bad. I mean, it's better, but I still need a gravel every time I watch one. But I digress. Tip number 4 is simply stop the automatic leveling of your world tier. Or if an area is too hard, just drop your current world tier level down one. Simple, right? I mean, it's obvious, but it wasn't to me. I was charging along, playing solo, and getting a little frustrated. Then I realized and I remembered that you can actually go ahead and drop down the difficulty. This is definitely something I'll be doing on my Pyromancer unless I play co-op, but it'll be useful for anyone just looking for lore and story. Lastly, at number 5, come up with a build and stick with it. In a game that has multiple mods and tier levels, it is easy to get overwhelmed by the continuous dump of new stuff thrown in your face. As we level up, we get class points, new skills, better armor, weapons, and mods. It can be overwhelming. One advice I have for you guys is stay true to what you wanted to build. And if you say, well, hot damn, I didn't know what I wanted, simply ask yourself this. Do you want DPS? Do you want more health and armor? Or do you want to use your abilities and have them be more effective? This will help you map out where you spend your skill points. For every class, top tree is DPS, middle tree is the health and armor, and bottom tree is ability level and strength. This helps you ensure that the skills you are selecting align with your desired playstyle. Then from there, you choose the appropriate abilities. If you want DPS for Trickster, you may want to choose Twisted Rounds as your ability. And because you are using this specific ability, you might want to mod your armor around said ability. And voila, you have now just created your character. It's nice and simple. And don't get me wrong, everyone is going to come out with these videos that are talking about, oh, this is the best build, blah, blah, blah. Try out any build for yourself, because I find that when people say that this is the best build and that there is a meta, you don't get the full like exposure to the game. You don't get to explore things the way you want to, because like it's like, oh, here's the answer. But then again, we YouTubers and we people creating content may be wrong. So try things out and figure things out for yourself. And honestly, it's just more fun that way. Of course, I'm not telling you to delete or sell everything that does not align with your build. It's just if you know what you want out of your character and how you want to build your character, it just helps you stay organized and not be overwhelmed. Honestly, there are so many ways to play Outriders, and I am loving it. And because of this, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that what I shared is the be-all and all list. If you guys have comments, ideas, and suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below, because I also honestly need some help with my pyromancer for real. I'm struggling playing solo with her, and so tips for that would be much appreciated. But that is it for me in this quick video, guys. Hopefully I was able to help you out. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, and of course consider subscribing. See ya in the next one. Bye.